Chappelle when Dave Chappelle was part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And the little boy wanted Dave Chappelle to come over there and play video games with him. And he beat it so bad the little boy died.
Well, I'm not saying that. But, you can't help that. You do what you do. Like, especially like this dude was like issuing challenges and stuff. Nah, it ain't going down like that. Like, you ain't just gonna call me out and then like think he gonna get away with some kind of close game or even worse, I'm gonna let you win. Please, yeah, that ain't happening. This is the Sports Kings podcast. Big Mike, Rob Calloway here with you on Spreaker.com. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sports Kings Live, and the email address sportskingslive@gmail.com. Getting back here real quick to this. The story about the House Bill 3, the Todd Gurley law. Now, this is the part of the article that I didn't agree with, because in South Carolina they proposed a little, not a similar law, but a law that's kind of along the same vein as trying to circumvent some of the things that are going on externally with these kids in the NCAA. And the law talks about providing additional stipends or postgraduate trust funds to financially assist those players from quote-unquote humble backgrounds without proper roofs on their trailers, and also ensuring health care for all 4 years of college or even postgraduate medical care for injuries sustained while playing for NCAA institutions. Now, that part I do agree with. If these kids sustain injuries, yeah, if somebody need to do something. They did it while making you. What did we talk about the other day? It was like $500 million after last bowl season. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think you can help me rehab this leg, pimp, even if I ain't at your school no more. But the thing I'm not about, that whole postgraduate trust fund. Nah, I'm good. Like, give me mine now. Like, if his mom, like, if you talking about the dude, mama need a roof. Like, she can't wait 3 years till I get up out of here. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous.
They don't flood it out.
Right. Like, a roof is something that's kind of like needs immediate attention. Like, that whole idea of like, yeah, we could just put it away in like a fund for them, and we'll hold it until they graduate. Nah, I'm good. Because why? You think if you give a bunch of black kids from quote unquote humble means that they just gonna blow it on tattoos and Jordans? Well, so what if they do? You learn a lesson. You learn a real hard lesson that if I give you 5 G's at the beginning of the semester, you got 5 G's that need to last you for the whole semester. And if you blow it, yeah, that's on you. And anything that happens to you past that, it's on you again. Like, if you still feel the need to go out and do something that you shouldn't be doing to get extra money, that's on you, because you had money.
That's real life.
You blew it, right? And now you got to pay consequences. But to tell me that, these kids don't have there's no value in their names and their images, no one believes you, pimp. Because guess who? I'm not going to Georgia. If I go to Athens, I'm not going to Georgia to see Mark Richt call plays. Nah, I want to see that kid in the backfield.
He's a good Christian.
Yeah, I want to see kids run over other kids, tackle other kids hard, throw touchdown passes. We were damn about you or the aforementioned Mike Bobo. Who's the offensive coordinator now? They got a pro down there calling plays now. Shanahan? No, Shanahan's here in with the Falcons.
I'm not sure. I know they brought Thomas Brown in. I know.
Dude's a position coach. Dude. I'm talking about the real coaches.
I know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just trying to think of who they added.
God, this is like the 5th question I've asked you about a team that you cheer for, and you've given me the old, I don't know, the old IDK on it.
Man, no, it's not even that, man. I just kind of detached, after the season was over with, like, for real.
Like, it was surprising to me. Like, I had a bunch of notes. I had a bunch of stuff that I read about them, about the Georgia Bulldogs and their spring practice and their little quarterback controversy they're going through.
I know about the players. I keep up with the players.
The 4 questions before this one was about players. When I asked you about, one was about Hudson Mason.
No, you asked me. You
asked me what his name was. You said, I don't know.
The tight end, Orson Charles.
Which, by the way, that was wrong, too. It's not. Orson Charles does not play for the Colts. ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you heard that. I was like, these damn idiots. He plays for the Bengals, and they wanted to switch him to fullback. The other guy I was thinking about for the Colts went to Clemson. Dwayne Allen went to Clemson. Orson Charles is a Cincinnati Bengal. See, even that, you let me go on air. You let me record my voice saying this dude was a Colt and agreed with me. Yeah, dude, you gotta get your Georgia name up. I might have to call down there and have whatever pass they give you for being a Georgia fan revoked. Yours revoked.
Man, whatever, Mike. I told you, boy, because you wouldn't even help him. I'm sitting there like, who is he talking about? Because I think Orson Charles originally got drafted by Tampa Bay.
Nah, he's a Bengal.
He originally got drafted by the Bengals?
Mm-hmm. He's a Bengal. Remember on Hard Knocks when him and the John Connor was playing fullback, and they cut John Connor because they wanted to have Orson Charles learn the fullback position? Yeah. I remember all that stuff. I just couldn't remember the kid's name. And then when I remembered his name, I started, for whatever reason, associating him. I started thinking he was Dwayne Allen.
That's not the same. That's not the same dude.
What you mean he's not the same dude? What's not the same dude? What's not the same dude?
Well, he did play for the Bengals. He played for the Saints now. That's what he played for, not the Saints.
Yeah, it's the same dude. Now I know who I'm talking about. Like, yeah, you're not gonna convince me of that now. I definitely know who I'm talking about now.
He played tight end for the Saints.
Yeah, of course, because he couldn't play fullback. And they was like, yeah, Orson, we want you to do this. And it's called block. He's like, I don't know what that is. It's a foreign word to me. So, you got to get up out of here with that foolishness then. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's how today I looked at this situation, and I felt like I got, man. And I just got myself, and thinking, sometimes you think you got this great idea, and everyone's going to be happy about it. But then not realizing, you can penalize these dudes and deter them from paying these players. But the overall problem is you're not allowing players to be paid. Like, that's the overall problem. So regardless of who gets punished and who doesn't, no one should be. You should be allowed to make money. If my name is worth something, which hopefully one day it will be, no one else. And it's not even that they're not allowed to make money. That's not my biggest problem. That's one of them. But my biggest problem is the fact that everyone else is allowed to make money off their names, and they're not. Like, this is mine. You know what I mean? I remember hearing DMX talking about that. Like when he signed with Def Jam, how he's been called DMX since he was just running around in the neighborhood. But then he signs his contract, and all of a sudden they own that name. So anytime that name is used somewhere else, they get paid off of it. It's the same thing with Vince McMahon. This is why we now know The Rock is Dwayne Johnson, because he got tired of splitting them checks. We now know Bow Wow as Shad Moss of CSI, whatever it is, because who is he with now? Like Wayne, them Young Money. He still with them? He still got a Young Money deal? I don't know. Bow Wow. Anybody?
Yeah.
Bueller. So whatever. So yeah, you see these cats using their real names because someone else owns their stage name. But in this case, the NCAA owns these dudes' real names. So, and the fact that at least in the case of like The Rock, he gets some of the money. Like just Vince gets his cut because he owns the trademark of The Rock.
Yeah.
But these kids get no money.
He owns all the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Todd Gurley gets no money at all. He just gets
TG3. Yeah,
it's just
TG3 gets no love.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man. I don't know, man. I just hope for one day, and I'm definitely gonna reach out to this guy this weekend and see if we can talk to him next week because I got a lot of questions. I just got more than questions. I just he seems to be someone who's along the same vein of thought as I am, and I love to exchange ideas with him. Let's see. What else do we have here? Told Rod to remind me that we had to make sure we touched on the Freddie Gray situation in Baltimore. The last time we spoke about the situation, the indictments had been, or the charges, the 6 officers had been charged. And funny thing about it, when I did this, Rob, you weren't here. This is when you were in Vegas when the announcement came down from the attorney.
Oh yeah, I was
the state's attorney, Mrs. Mosby. And just in reading the names, I hadn't seen pictures of the officers, but in reading the names, I could tell it wasn't all white dudes. It wasn't all white dudes. It was one woman, definitely, and I could tell one guy's name was
a black chick.
Yeah, one guy's name was Jesus. So I kind of assumed that he wasn't white either. Just kind of stabbing at it. Jesus, non-white. Which always brings me back to a situation that I'm always talking about, man. That it's too easy. And it's almost downright lazy to immediately attach race and racism to these type of things. And it's something that I said to you last week, that it's more institutional than anything. It's an institutionalized thing within the police department and these communities. I can't think of my man's name that's always on CNN, the black dude. From New York. He might be a former judge or an attorney, but he talked about how we had a conversation about them making eye contact with Freddie Gray and then beginning to chase him, and that was a big point of contention with a lot of people. But there is precedent for that, and it's like a Illinois Supreme Court precedent that's been passed a couple years ago that basically says, it's very vague too, that says if you're in a high crime area, you can just assume crime is happening, and it's okay to stop somebody and question them, and even give chase and pursue them for no damn reason. So the defense is going to definitely use that, and it's what I said last week. Like all that cheering that you heard in that clip, it's too early, because this is far, far, far from an open shut case. Because you're trying to try six people. 2 groups of 3 for basically one crime. And part of the strategy is they're trying to get like the person with the least culpability to flip on the other ones. That hadn't happened yet. And I don't know that it necessarily will. It's one of those things. It's a typical tactic. We all, like, if you black, you understand what that is. If me and Rob get caught, they going to try to hit one of us with like the first person to talk gets the deal to make me tell on Rob or Rob tell on me when Rob don't even know. I'm asking for the deal coming through the door.
You anyway. Right. I already know.
Yeah, coming through the door, I'm like, okay, what kind of deal you putting on the table? Put it on them, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, right. I'm going to be sitting in another room like, all right, I know he go snitch, so just go on and tell me what the deal is.
Exactly. It's going to be the battle of deals. Anyway, so ignorant. And something else. I don't know if you guys watched Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. It's a funny-ass show. It comes on, it's like 11:30 on HBO. After Game of Thrones and all that kind of stuff comes on, Veep and all that. He comes on. And it's funny as hell, but he's a very, very intelligent guy. And he was talking about some of the other stuff, the ancillary stuff that's happening up there. Now, we talk about the 6 officers that were arrested. They were since released on $250,000 bail. And you figure, all right, $250,000. All right, yeah, that's a good chunk of change. But here's the part that's gonna make you kind of shudder. A black kid got arrested for vandalism. He broke out some car windows, right? Misdemeanor. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think his bail was, Rob?
$250,000.
Huh?
$250,000.
$500,000.
Wow.
$500,000 for a misdemeanor. Do something that, with in a normal circumstance, somebody could just pay for the windows, right? Yeah, $500,000, man. This kid is in jail. Like, where's people gonna get let's say it's a 10%, bond. We don't get $50,000 from the bail this dude out, man. Right. There's a child sitting in jail with killers, because he broke windows. Yeah, that's a crazy look, man.
You gonna learn today.
That's a crazy look, man. So while everyone, that's why I'm always telling people, man, like, don't do that. Don't fall for the, look at this shiny thing over here while I'm really doing this over here. No, man, zoom out.
Right.
Consume as much information as you can, because I told you guys when this stuff first happened, I was reluctant. To really get into it, man, because it just had that similar feel to me that just made me feel bad. But I do understand that on a daily basis, I have a microphone in front of my face, and for the 2 or 3 people who listen to the podcast. I want to make sure
There's more than that.
I'm responsible to you guys, in reporting the things that are happening, not just in sports, because we told you guys at the beginning that it was going to be more than that. So in keeping my promise, I dove in and tried to get as